had come to just accept that my under eyes were going to look dry and cakey. And I came across two concealers that changed the game. In this video, in the next few minutes, we're going to pit them against each other and see which one can come out on top as our TKO winner. Both of these concealers can be purchased for under $15, so they are both quite affordable. However, money isn't everything when it comes to makeup products. We need to see how they perform, what their ingredients are, and how they look on the skin. So which two concealers are we trying today? First up, we have the NYX Bare With Me Serum Concealer, and we also have the Makeup Revolution Eye Bright Concealer. We're going to start with the NYX Bare With Me Concealer, which I do have on the left side of my face on the under eye here. This one can be purchased for $10.99 at Target or for $11 at Ulta. Now, if you go the Target route, they have 12 shades. Whereas if you go the Ulta route, they have 13 shades. So it's not the best, but it's a little more than you might be used to in concealers. For the Makeup Revolution, if you go the Target route, you're going to pay $9.99. Whereas if you go the Ulta route, you're going to pay $10. Shade-wise, Target has 15, where Ulta only has 8. That's about half of what Target has, so go Target. By now, if you've seen my other videos, you know I'm an ingredient kind of person, so let's dive a little bit deeper into these and see what they are made of. So again, starting with the NYX, this one is going to have water, glycerin, silica, green tea, sunflower oil, tiger grass, allantoin, I believe, sorbitan oleviate, sodium chloride, Epsom salt, and vitamin E. So to me, those sound pretty good. You have a little bit of skincare mixed in there. Let's check out the Makeup Revolution. You have glycerin, water, sodium chloride, silica. There is a form of vitamin C in this one, alumina, and here's the game changer for me. This one has that DM hydrotone, which is a product that over time releases formaldehyde. So you're putting this one on your skin, on your face, which can sometimes be the most sensitive skin of your body, and over time it's going to release formaldehyde. It's a big red flag for me right there. I don't like that at all. But I did purchase this. I do want to tell you how it is, so let's move on to how it performs. As far as application goes, the Makeup Revolution is going to be a little bit more of a wet, liquidy feel, where the NYX has a little bit more of a traditional creamy feel. Appearance-wise, these are both great on the skin. I love them equally when it comes to the appearance. What kind of coverage are you going to get with these two? Well, if you go with the Makeup Revolution, you're going to get a light coverage. If you go with the NYX, you have a little bit of a low medium. It, to me, is a little bit more buildable, and it already offers a little bit more coverage on the first layer. So if you're going for coverage, NYX is going to be your option here. How do they blend? Well, the NYX blends. It takes just a little bit more work, a little bit more effort, but that's not anything in the grand scheme of things. Where the Makeup Revolution, it blends in right away, but the caveat to that is that I think that if you blend too much, this one can actually blend away because that formula is so thin and liquidy. What about creasing? We're talking about concealers going on the under eye. I personally don't really notice creasing when it comes to my under eyes. Instead of the product sinking into that fine line, I find that it sits on the surface and eventually kind of separates. I don't really notice too much of that with either of these. That is why I like them both. But any of them, I think you're going to get a little bit of that with the NYX, being that it is a little bit more of a thicker formula than the Revolution. But again, it's not anything that I've really noticed or had too much of a problem with. As far as consistency of the product, I'll show you here where I was applying these. Again, the NYX has a little bit more of a thickness, so it's going to hold its shape a little bit more. If you were to hold it on the hand and just let it run, I do think it would run a little bit. But with the Revolution and it being more of a liquid consistency, it would have the tendency to run. But the way that they have packaged this with this little sponge applicator, you're not going to have so much coming out at one time that it's going to run or drip or make a mess or anything like that. The sponge really controls how much comes out. How are you getting products out of these tubes? What's the applicator like? So for the NYX, you have a little small pump here. I actually really like this packaging. It's also one that you can see how much you are using as it pulls up. for the Makeup Revolution. Again, this one does have it where you can see a little bit that you're using it as it goes up. And again, this one does have this little sponge applicator. Do either of these mess with my other makeup that I put on? Foundation, powders, anything? No, absolutely not. I am a person who likes to put my concealer on before my foundation. I don't notice it balling up. I don't notice it lifting. I have no problems putting other makeup on top of either of these concealers. With all of that information, with all of that being said, have you made a decision on which one that you want to try, which one you think would work better for you? Let me know in the comments down below. I am going to go ahead and tell you though, you might have already guessed it, but for me, I am partial to the NYX. I'm not a fan of the ingredient in the Revolution that releases the formaldehyde. That is a big no for me. I don't want it. I don't need it. I don't want to be putting that on my face of all the skin on my body, especially not the face. So for me, it's going to be the NYX. I also get that coverage that I want. I get that blendability. I get no creasing. So for me, the NYX is an all-over superstar win-win. It is pretty much the only concealer I have been using this summer. At the start of the summer, I did get this one and I was testing it out. But once I got this NYX concealer, that was it. Ingredients are important to me. I always try and look at them before purchasing a product or especially after. So what I'm looking for, not only on the skin, but what's going to absorb into the skin, the NYX does it for me. After that round, go ahead and check out these past contenders that went head to head in other TKO videos. Make sure that you subscribe before you go. That way I will be able to see you in the next video. I hope to see you there.